Wheels Up hit the Daily Double this week. The private aviation powerhouse clinches a sponsorship deal with Triple Crown winner American Pharoah. Also, Serena, brand ambassador Serena, claimed her 20th major. Kenny Dichter is co-founder and CEO of Wheels Up. Kenny, good to see you. You just missed with Justin Rose,
I was going to say, we almost hit the trifecta.
I know. I saw that. And except for if he had driven the ball a little better on those playoff holes, I think he would have probably... He did have a chance on that one approach where he hit it left.
He did.
Yeah. Anyway, big. When Zayat came on and he was wearing the Wheels Up hat, I'm like, this is like, how did that go down?
How'd the whole thing go down?
Yeah.
6:30 a.m., my partner Robert Withers gets a phone call. Gets me at 6:45.
Which day?
Thursday.
Oh,
Thursday. Ben Sterner from Leverage. This is, by the way, the power of being nice. Ben Sterner is a young guy in the business, Leverage agency, an up-and-comer. And he needed someone to fill the sponsorship quick. And he called the guy that he knew could make a quick decision. So I called my partner, Bill Allard, to make sure I wasn't crazy. And as Tim knows, when the risk-reward is right, you push the purple chips up.
And you know what? Whenever you're buying like an option, the time value is what makes an option expensive. On Thursday, there was no time value. You just paid the inherent value for that.
We paid the inherent value, and I said to Ahmed, who is an unbelievable guy, a great businessman, I said, here, you want to seal the deal while I'm on the phone call? I said, wear the hat.
Does it all?
Wear the Wheels Up hat.
Yeah. And they were on the show, and the other guy had the Monster hat on. They go, well, you didn't mention Monster. I don't know that guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I mentioned... Now,
you got it right there.
It was obvious to get it on the leg like that?
The leg is, in my view, the most powerful piece of inventory on the horse. And by the way, we had both legs, just in case the cameras were doing a reverse deal, and we had the lower back. And then, of course, Ahmed did media from Thursday morning when we signed the deal till yesterday.
So you return on that. You haven't disclosed what you paid for the sponsorship, but what do you...
Kenny's undercutting. I talked to Kenny over the weekend, and he thought, oh, maybe we got $20 million of value.
What's the value?
You got to go 10x that. I think there was $200 million plus...
What's going to take us 50 years to recover the
But
200?
also, Kenny, that's going to be over the course of time. It's a piece of history you bought, and I think Kenny's one of the best entrepreneurs in the country. I think making that type of decision, also different than it was 5 or 10 years ago, that lived in social. The event happened.
I think there's a dislocation, though, and we talked about this yesterday. What people are paying for A-plus content and what you get in return, it's really it's a buyer's market right now.
I mean, I'm still looking at pictures from 1973 of Secretariat. You know how many times I've seen that picture of him looking back, the jockey looking back over his shoulder?
And American Pharoah ran the last leg of the race in 24 seconds faster than Secretariat.
Second fastest time overall.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny. Tim was an instrumental person for me when we were looking at Wheels Up and getting it started. We had a disruptive horse, obviously, in this race, and I told Tim about the King Air 350i, an incredibly disruptive price point.
Does instrumental mean loaded in an investor? Is that what instrumental means?
Well, I would say that Tim has been supportive, you know, like we don't disclose.
I have not been instrumental at all. I'll tell you that. How do you get Serena away from, where was she, NetJets?
Well, Serena's supplementing with Wheels Up. Anything that's 2 hours and in, she's using the King Air and the XLS, and you know, it's all about partnership. Serena's been a good friend for a long time.
So how'd that happen? You go to her and you say, I want to replace NetJets?
Well, it's like with Joe with his golf clubs. When a new pitching wedge comes out, it's going to end up in Kernan's bag. This is a perfect plane for Serena for her short hops, and Serena's a smart woman. The other thing that's worth saying, Joe, is the call that we got 6 o'clock in the morning on Thursday. It's about relationships. And you think about Scott Ernst, who comes on the show, a fan of Squawk. Yeah, I mean, what these guys are doing for us at Textron, the support we have there, the support we have at Jeffries and Handlers to start this business less than 2 years ago. We announced it on the show. It's just been gangbusters.
And then, of course, that's another Vineyard Vines type story, though. So what are the number of jobs that you guys have put in Wichita and the ability to really invest in
I would say we're affecting hundreds of thousands of jobs. And I would say that every time a Wheels Up salesperson sells a membership, it might be a winglet, it might be a seat, it might be a piece of avionics. So we take it really seriously, and you know, American jobs in Wichita, Kansas are important.
But how do you get to hundreds of thousands of jobs?
Well, because you have the 11,000 people that work at Textron, and then you have components. You have 100 people, 100 different companies that make components. You know, the largest employer, Boeing, affects, I think, the most people in the country from a jobs perspective.
What happened at NetJets? How's business? What happened to Jordan Hansel?
Yeah.
Well, Jordan, he's sort of the guys that were racing against American Pharoah. I think he's faded out. Adam Johnson and Bill Noe are now over there. I think it's status quo there.
Are you in the same business, or does the King Air give you sort of a different...
I think if Facebook and Twitter are in the same business as Sony, then we're in the same business. I think we're trying to take things to the next level.
Does your mix shift in terms of what's about to happen next, in terms of
planes?
Yeah, planes.
Well, we have the King Air 350i at the base. And you know the membership, $17,500. Becky, I can run your credit card right after the show.
Not mine. I don't have a high enough limit.
It's okay. We can clear the limit. I'll make a call. So we're starting with the King Air. We go to the Excel, which is a 4-hour airplane. And we've been talking to Textron. They go all the way up to now the Latitude and the Citation 10. Sovereign.
You don't need bigger than a Citation 10 unless you go abroad. But you got to deal with those other guys too, don't you?
The Citation 10 Plus, which is 3 feet longer than the 10. Fastest, highest plane, non-military in the world. And you're right, Joe. We could do 85–90% of the world's missions with the 10 and under. So,
how much do you focus on fuel prices?
Well, fuel is a pass-through for us. We don't charge a fuel charge like some of our competitors in the space, the fractional guys and the card guys. We want to be totally transparent. If fuel moves, we'll be very transparent with our clients, and we'll raise the prices a little bit. But right now, it's not affecting us, and the King Air is not only the greenest airplane, but it's the most fuel-efficient airplane in the world.
Maybe talk about the pink plane, Kenny.
Pink plane is something I can't disclose in full, but we are working on a couple of initiatives where we're going to put charitable stuff attached to the plane, and I think Tim's seen a Google shot, old school for Tim, so a Google shot of a plane being painted.
Oh, I remember.
We are putting a pink plane in, and I'll discuss some details later, but it's going to be very exciting.
So I told Penelope you were going to be on today, and I went to bed. Housewives of Beverly Hills last night, and then there was a show on afterwards, a new show on afterwards. So someone was wearing a Wheels Up T-shirt, and then there's a new show about
Jim Edmonds.
And then what was the next show that was on? My wife's like, this is
Jim Edmonds, who played center field for a long time.
Yeah, and then what was the show afterwards? There was a new show that came on.
No, I just
watched it.
I stayed up last night to watch it.
Oxygen.
Yeah. No, it wasn't on Oxygen. It was on
Lifetime.
Bravo. Bravo. Who owns Bravo?
You missed the Belmont, but you saw the Housewives of Beverly Hills.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
What's the name of the show, though? There it is. Odd Mom Out.
Odd Mom?
Totally about
You watched Odd Mom Out?
Let me tell you.
You watched Odd Mom Out?
Totally about the...
This is why content's going up.
Joe, this is Upper East Side, New York, and I wanted to see whether it would work or not. You pity the fool?
I pity the fool. I pity the fool. I pity the fool.
Joe, you know, Odd Mom Out, Real Housewives, Wheels Up is going to be the first private aviation company that focuses on women. Serena Williams. Erin Andrews.
Did you know there was a hockey game on last night that also was on NBC?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you won.
You got to support the home team.
Okay. All right.
I tell you, it was a great weekend.
We got to run. Look, it's great job. Thank you.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Kenny.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
That does it for us today. Make sure you join us tomorrow. Right now, it's time for Squawk on the Street.